A law firm was experiencing issues due to their legacy case management system, and they were facing a number of challenges. Their finance team had limited visibility into billing, partners at the firm were struggling to manage matters, and the compliance team couldn't see what was going on across the firm. The case management process had lots of manual steps, such as AML, IDV, and conflict checking. They needed a flexible solution, one that would help solve interoperability challenges, leveraging their existing case management system. They needed visibility across the firm and to improve the flow of data and information. The solution to this problem that I'm about to demo was built in just a matter of weeks using Toca. The solution needed to integrate as seamlessly as possible with the current systems leveraged by the law firm, and this meant integrating single sign-on with their Microsoft Azure Active Directory. As an example here, I'll use Google instead. Once signed in, partners are directed to their homepage, where they can select the type of role that they take within the firm, with different views for fee earners, compliance officers, and finance officers. As a fee earner coming into the portal, I might like to add a client and open a new file against that client, so I'll click Fee Earner Assistant. Here I'm directed to my client's dashboard, where I can see all of the clients that I currently have open, a reference to that client on the legacy case management system, and the status of that client, i.e. how far through their compliance conflict checking journey they are. You can see that clients that are approved are marked in nice bright green, and any that are still pending conflict checks are marked to show that status. I can also sort by the status, or any of the other variables here, and search for clients, using the search bar up top. Let's say that I'd like to add a new client to my platform. I'll create a new client, and here I'm directed to the client creation form. One of the neat features of Toca used here is the in-page logic, to drive different form inputs based on the type of client that needs to be inputted, but I'll input a natural person for this demo. I'll enter the client details here, and you can see that form validation means that I input the correct type of information into my form. I can select a source partner for this client who will take a cut of the fee, and also the risk level of the client, which is used during the IDV process to identify whether the client is high or normal risk. Selecting I would like to automatically request the IDV documents from the client means that the portal will automatically make an API call and send an email to the client to request those documents. But for the purpose of this demo, we'll assume that the partner is obtaining these documents manually. Hitting Add Client, I'm directed back to my client's dashboard, and if I scroll down and paginate across, I can see that my client's been successfully added to the platform. Initially, the status is pending conflict check, and once compliance have approved the conflict check for this client, the status will update. Acting now as a compliance officer, I can go to my compliance tasks page to view any clients that need to be conflict checks. So you can see I've got a list of outstanding checks I need to complete here, along with the name of the client, the partner that opened that file, and the current status of the client. I can hit a review screen to see any potential conflicts, which I can search through, and if I wish, view the client details. Assuming that I'm happy with the results of these checks, I can return to my compliance tasks and approve this check. Approving the check touches a number of systems that we were able to integrate with. Firstly, it adds the client to the legacy case management system, and secondly, it creates a structure in SharePoint via another API call that allows the lawyer to add any case files that are relevant to the case for that client. Finally, once the AML and IDV checks have been processed, the task status will update here with Review Smart Search Check, the AML provider that we used in this case. You can see that in addition to the review button, I now have the ability to view the results of the Smart Search check, and the client status is updated to pending AML check. So, reviewing the Smart Search check, this will automatically download the file, and I can view all of the details for this check. If I'm happy with that, I can then approve this task. Approving the client through the AML check will then update the status of the client in the partner's view in the portal. So acting now on behalf of the partner and returning to my client's dashboard, I can see that my client status has been updated to approved. And furthermore, that a Quill client code has been associated with that client since they've been added to my legacy case management system. Entering the client details, I can now open a file against this client. So you can see that currently I have no matters or bills against this client. I have the client details on the side, and I have the ability to add a new matter. I'll create a new matter now. You can see that I can select the office location, the type of case, and assign the matter partner and any additional fee earners that are working on this case. Once the matter's added, it automatically repopulates SharePoint with a folder structure, enabling lawyers to add case files to that matter, and you can see that the matter is now pending a matter conflict check. I can also now view any details of this matter in a handy pop-up that gives me the status, who the partner on the file is, when it was opened, and any additional fee earners, as well as other pertinent information. I'm now able to add a bill to this matter. The details are automatically linked back to the matter, so there's no repetition of inputs here. I can add a description for the matter, as well as a payable by, if relevant. Then I can select my bill type. In this case, I might like to allocate a fixed fee bill, and I can start to make allocations to each of the partners that deserve a cut of the share. So I can allocate a total fixed fee here, say £10,000, and this is the total amount that I'd like to charge to the client. Updating my targets, you can see that the source partner is automatically allocated 10% of the fixed fee, and this is reflected here in these numbers. If I'd like to change this allocation, the amounts will automatically update, and updating my targets, you'll see that I now only have £8,000 to allocate. This is all driven through Toca's in-page logic in our apps designer. I'll allocate an amount to the matter partner as well, and update my targets. And finally, I'll allocate some money to the additional fee earners on the case. You can see that I can search through this list to find the fee earner that I'd like. Again, in-page logic drives the addition of these items to the screen and makes it easy to see exactly who I've allocated to and how much I've allocated. Once I'm happy with these numbers, I can update my targets a final time, and the form will tell me that indeed I've hit the target amount and I've allocated £10,000. I get a clear overview of how much the source, matter, and any additional fee earners are receiving, and I get a series of green ticks indicating that the numbers all line up. If I had disbursements, I could also add them to this bill, but assuming that I have no disbursements, I can now preview this bill and see what it will look like once it's printed. Again, in-page logic is used to automatically drive the creation of this bill preview, including the payable by, the matter narrative, and the bill narrative, and automatically populating the numbers for the net, VAT, and total amount to be charged to the client. In addition, a handy print means that I can see what the bill looks like once printed. It opens a print dialog, and I can choose either to save this to my computer or to print this to a local machine. Assuming I'm happy with the numbers and everything looks good, I can then add this bill to the system. You can see that the bill is automatically added, again with the status of drafted, so it's clear where it is in its journey. From here, Finance can then view this bill on their dashboard, approve it, and this will automatically push the bill to their billing system via another API call.